Pag magbalik ko pe. Good evening, everyone. With the power vested upon me, I hereby call this 80s General Membership Meeting to order. So, I will preside the meeting for this evening, as we will only be discussing business matters. So, let us have the invocation, the Philippine anthem, the Rotary hymn, the four-way test, and the objects of Rotary.
Do not let your hearts be troubled. Do not stay afraid. It is really I whom you see. I offer you now my peace. I have waited for this moment to be with you again. In my heart you'll remain. In your heart I'll stay. I am with you till the end of your days. I am in you. Have faith that I hold you even when you let go. And I love you, you must know. I am here, I am ever with you. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Do not stay afraid. I'm beyond all anguish, all death. I'm risen to life anew. When you feel that you've been emptied and can give no more, know that I am your breath and I fill your soul. I am with you till the end of your days. I am in you. Have faith that I hold you even when you let go. And I love you, you must know. I am near, I am ever with you. I am with you I want to be a Rotarian for the world. Make the Rotary flag as the flag of peace unfurled. I shall serve my community, help achieve universal unity. I shall dedicate my all. World understanding shall be my cherished goal. With a four-way test, I'll pursue my quest, giving my little way help attain. Peace in the world, I shall not have lived in vain. Service above self, lend a hand to all who need my help. I'll give my spouse to involve in Rotary, and in Rotary ways I will train my family. With a four-way test, we'll pursue our quest, living our little way help attain. Peace in the world, we shall not have lived in build a bridge for tomorrow's youth, strengthened by nothing but the truth. Let's join our hands, there's no reason we'll divide. We shall all understand why the good Lord is our guide. With a four-way test, we'll pursue our quest, giving our little way of the day. Peace in the world, we shall not have lived in vain. Peace be achieved, we shall not have
The four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Object of Rotary is to encourage and foster the ideal of service as a basis of worthy enterprise, and in particular, to encourage and foster: first, the development of acquaintance as an opportunity for service; second, high ethical standards in business and professions, the recognition of the worthiness of all useful occupations, and the dignifying of each Rotarian's occupation as an opportunity to serve society. Third, the application of the ideal of service in each Rotarian's personal, business, and community life. Fourth, the advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and peace through a world fellowship of business and professional persons united in the ideal of service.
Okay, so good evening once again to everyone. So thank you so much for attending our 18th General Membership meeting tonight. There are a lot to update uh, our members on what has happened last month and this month in view of the Super Typhoon Odette that we experienced. So I'm glad that everyone is safe and healthy. I hope that you all have your electricity back at home and in the office, as well as water supply. So first things first, allow me to extend my gratefulness to all those who helped and supported our Magtinabangay Tabay project, the recovery and relief project of RCCF. So thank you to past President June for spearheading the free water to the community since day one, right after the Typhoon Odette, and giving us a storage space for the donated items. Thank you also to past District Governor Mayan for actively soliciting donations from third parties and helping us transport the drinking water from the port to our drop-off area. Thank you also to EG Maricel with Rotarian Earl for religiously manning our drop-off and pick-up area since day one as well. Thank you as well to past Assistant Governor Jesse for efficiently and effectively coordinating with the community in need. And thank you to past President Dave for extending help to Balamban and other communities using the RCCF banner. Thank you to Secretary Jomar and Director Stephen for helping us transport the donated items, and all RCCF Rotarians for all your donations and support to this noble and selfless cause. We will post our acknowledgement and gratefulness to our donors. We have collated already all the donors' names and information. We are just preparing the pictures to ensure that nothing is left out. And also, maybe tonight we'll be able to decide on what project we will undertake with the money that we have. We'll give an update on how much we have received for this particular project based on the accounting made by Treasurer June on the amount that we have received for the relief and recovery project. We now have a total of let me we have see my okay, a total of 313,441. Okay, that's the total amount that we have received. We have from the donors, Doc Elaine, yours truly, from RC Mutia Santa Maria, from RC Midtown Tarlac, from an anonymous donor. We also have from RC Cainta, RC Cubao, from Mr. Kenneth T, from PDG Yumi Espina, from past President Dave Caramihan, Godofredo Lorente Jr., and Coppel Rotary Club. I understand, Treasurer June, that there was an amount that we received sometime yesterday, but
Yeah,
have we
yes,
confirmed from whom it
it's
was?
not yet confirmed by the bank that it has
Mm-mm.
come into our account.
Okay, so it must have been from the efforts of PDG Mayan from
Right.
another club that we received that additional amount. So once we are able to confirm the receipt and who the donor is, then we can acknowledge as well the donors. Now, based on the discussion we attended, we've had with the committee on this particular project, there was a need for a sustainable um, undertaking, because the donors actually would want to have that type of a project. We've had a meeting. PDG Man and I attended the meeting of the Rotary Club of Coppel, and they have a very interesting way of doing their meeting also. And there are only a few of them. In that club, but they're very generous. They've extended about 3,000 US dollars to our club for this particular undertaking, and their expectation as well is that we will use the money for a sustainable project. So at this point, maybe we can open the discussion on what could be a possible project that we can undertake in relation to this. There was a suggestion already that we will build a shelter for some of the affected residents of the typhoon. Although the concern there is that we have to really establish ownership over the land to be able to do a shelter project. So if you have any other suggestions, maybe we can have the discussion tonight and we can consider what are the possible project that we can undertake then. So anyone who would like to suggest, maybe PDG Mayan has something to say, considering she is the one who personally dealt with the donors.
Actually, they wanted us to align with our district's disaster efforts. And right now, we focus on rebuilding, quote unquote, Gov Anna. We focus on our rebuilding efforts. And I am with her on the shelter kits. These Rotary shelter kits were suggested by Shelter Box because Shelter Box ran out of their standard Shelter Box kits. So these shelter kits composed of 10 pieces corrugated sheets, umbrella nails, common nails, hand saw, and a hammer. So that's one kit to be given to those who got affected by Typhoon Odette, particularly those who lost the roof. So we're going mass based. We help more families by having them rebuild their homes. We do not build the home entirely. We just help them build a home. So this is how it is when it's like this massive destruction. We cannot build a home. And even in Rotary, will not allow us, even through grants, to build something. We just help build. So this is where I would like to suggest on the Rotary shelter kits. And with the money raised, June and I were talking about the cost. Either we d- um, order from the district on the kits because the GI sheet seems to be cheaper, or we order from here. I believe Kendrick is selling corrugated roofing sheets. So how much is that? We were also able to canvas from DTI at the Puyat Steel in Mandaue, and it already cost 500 pesos plus for a 0.35 mm thick corrugated GI sheet. So I would like to leave all the text, the specs to our gentlemen, those who are very good architect, engineer. Sa inyo na, my role is to raise funds. We're expecting a $2,500 from Texas, from another group, not a Rotary Club. This is another group. We're expecting one from Japan as well. So I'm just finalizing the pictures that I'm sending of our Odette devastation. So that's where we are.
Yeah, thanks, PDG Man. It may be easier for us to align it with the district also because we are required by this District Governor Anna to report as well our efforts in relation to this disaster. So maybe we can really do the district project. Yes.
Actually, we can also, President Byrne, report our initial efforts for the relief part when we were donating water. So that's the relief part. We are now going to the rebuilding part. So this is what we will be doing now.
So that's one that we can seriously consider, the kit, rebuilding kit, aligned with the district's efforts, rebuilding kit. Any other suggestion, Mike? PG Man, is there a was there a suggested area where we can do, or it's up to us to determine?
Actually, we are talking to two Rotarians, Jesse, past Assistant Governor Jesse, and past President Dave. Although I suggested, my thoughts close to my heart was Rhonda and Karkar, but then Rhonda, I can't be there to do I can't go out of the house. So monitoring and all is out of the question. I'd like to have a point person from Rotary to do that. And if we talk about Balamban, Dave is there because that's really, Balamban was badly hit. The southern part was badly hit. Now, Jesse, we were talking about 5 houses, but our concern was it was by the shore, so it has to set back. So it can't be by the shoreline. And on the property issue, if they own the properties, so we can help in their housing.
Tita, for this particular picture that shows
The before picture and the after. Dave has the before. I think Jesse also showed us a long shot, but not really clear. So the before picture and the after.
okay, so just so it can be clear, so we have to show the before and after picture. Um, Past President, PEG Jesse, you recognize? Sir Jesse?
My internet is very unstable, but I'd like to share with you my experiences. I'm also doing rebuilding. I hope you can hear me. And I'm
Yes,
doing I'm giving some GI sheets, but the problem there is really monitoring because once you have to give it, then you have to time your giving that it is already to be used, or else it will not be it will not be used or something. No? So if you give, you cannot also give money, because if you give money, they will really do or buy on other things. So you have to give material. So the challenge there in rebuilding is for the person to be there at the time, at the time when it's needed, because there was an experience that I have wherein I should have give a GI, then they use the old GIs, and then buti na lang, I didn't give the money, pero the other guy, I give the money, oh my God, he didn't use it anymore. He said he just used it for the wall. So it might be it could be sometimes defeating to the purpose ba. And you cannot already identify your contribution if you do that nga wala partial lang gani atong contribution. I have another. I don't know if you will accept another suggestion.
yes, yes.
Because you mentioned about sustainability. Ba? Right now, one of the biggest problem is the fishermen without boats, because the boats are really broken. So if you buy boats, that's really sustainable. If you can find some fishermen who has really lost their boat, and then maybe 10 of them you buy boats, and then or 15 of them, then it's better. It's a better thing to do. rather than housing, because housing is very expensive if you, because the better way of doing housing is you do everything, but that's very expensive.
Yeah, I understand, Sir Jesse. PDG man, is that possible that we can have actually that's also a very good suggestion because it encourages livelihood for those who are affected.
Uh,
So is
Let
that
me
possible? Is that something
share
we
with
can
you a
also do?
discussion in about Siargao and Dinagat. There were suggestions on the boat. Now, again, with
Mm,
funds raised, how much boats
this one boat.
can be made in the funds that we have? Because we have limited
Mm,
funds. So how much is the boat? Is this without cutting? Is this without board? So this was the discussion raised with Archie, with General Archie Gamboa. LGU takes
mm,
care of the 20-footer boat. So they had levels. As far as we're concerned, sa Rotary, it will depend now on a district grant. If a district grant can allow fishing boats, because it's for a
mm,
disaster response. So the fishing boat for livelihood, it's still being, well, we're waiting for response. Once we get the word from RI that it's okay, then I will relay to you. But please bear in mind, please be mindful that we only raised 300,000 pesos. So how many
mm,
boats are we going to make out of this versus the shelter kits that we can
mm,
have? Even the shelter kits alone, June and I were doing the math. If we can get a reasonable cost of GI, not
mm.
sacrificing the gauge, the thickness of the GI of about pila ganito June, 25,000, 25 to 30, we can only do around 10 houses.
Correction, Govme, I think
Oo.
that was a little bit too high. Since
Oo.
it's only 10 corrugated sheets plus a
Yes.
hammer, a saw, and some nails, probably between 6 to 8,000 per kit.
Okay. So, mubutang ta. So, we can have more shelter kits di ay for the budget
Yes.
sa 300,000. Again, how much is a fishing boat?
Maybe we can do
Oo.
the
If
asking
We
if
first
the
will
boat
have
is
to
smaller,
think about that.
because the
if,
impact also may not
if,
be as much if we can only provide one fisherman's
if
boat. So understandable though. Sir Jesse, if you can help us
the
do
if the
the
boat is
cost.
smaller, maybe it will cost mga 15,000.
I'm
We
sorry,
need to just to know then the
how much is that, Sir Jesse? We did not get that. How much is it?
because again, this is not just livelihood, because the boat, many of the disaster, the boat is really broken, so their livelihood is lost because of the disaster. So because of the surge, the boat was in fact, you can see a lot of that in Olango, wherein the boats are really lost.
Yeah.
So it's not about na you're giving the only kanang kuan mapanginabuhi, but you are
Mm.
really replacing the broken boats.
Mm-mm. So, but we have to know first, Sir Jess, how much it
Yes,
is so that we would know the how much we can
well,
also donate for that
yeah, kung
purpose.
wala na yung makina, barato na siya, mga 15,000 na siguro, yung isa ka boat.
15,000. Without this is not motorized the vessel. Okay.
Oh,
So if the usual
katong
lang
mga
with the cottage
marginal,
and all,
marginal ba? Oh,
mm,
yes. Marginal lang
for
ang ano,
marginal
marginal lang ang
fishers, yeah,
fishermen.
fishermen. Okay. Sige, well, we'll look into it and we'll see our budget on how many fishermen boat we can provide in that respect. Yes, AG Maricel, you're
Yeah,
recognized.
I was listening to you, and then I was thinking, aside, of course, the shelter kits is really the most practical way. It's easy, and then you're going to give them right away. And then in terms of monitoring, perhaps we could set a day, like what we do, like what others do when they do a house, for example. So you can just set a date, and everybody does the work. I don't know if that's possible. The other one is I was looking at the main thing that really hit me during the Odette was the water. I don't know if there is any way, I mean, for, perhaps June or anyone else who could probably look into a more sustainable project that's water that could help during fire, during whatever calamity in the barangay, or you send it out there. I don't know. um, it's more for me. It's more practical because
as you can see, a lot of people were looking for water right there and then, more than the roof and all that. So that's just those are just my thoughts. I don't know if that's practical though.
Okay, so it's just that currently for the supply of water in certain communities, this is being controlled by the local government units involved. So maybe we can coordinate with the local government units in relation to their projects, to their barangays, because maybe we
Yes.
can just assist in terms of the artesian wells. I think that's the one that they are providing to the barangays, and see if we can be of assistance to them.
Yes, because I
So,
think the primordial concern at the time was really the water. So I
so
don't know if there's even during fire or whatever calamity, that's what I always notice. It's water that's really lacking.
okay.
So, I don't know. With that kind of money, I don't know if we could probably come up with some kind of project with that.
Okay. Sir Emmy, yes, you're on mute, Sir Emmy.
Of AG Maricel regarding the water, no. I just want to remind the group that it is being controlled by MCWD right now. The all the wells have to be registered with MCWD. So it has to be coordinated with MCWD before we could approve a well or to be given to a particular area.
Duly noted, Sir Emmy. Yes, PDG
Thank you.
Mayaan.
Actually, I agree with you. In fact, this audit is an eye-opener for both MCWD and VECO, where given this massive devastation, a monopoly of these utilities cannot be anymore considered. They already have to think and open the water supply to other source from to others. The same with electricity until now. Kinay Govyumi, wala pang ilaw ang Monterrasa. Alta Vista areas, wala pang ilaw. So many areas don't have electricity yet. And those who are coming over to help are same workers of the same company from Davao and all. It's a monopoly. So this is being discussed in chamber actually. What Maricel is saying is valid. Even proposals for deep well in houses, but it was rejected because what Emmy said is true. It has to pass through MCWD, who has the monopoly. Yung ba tama ba ang word, Emmy? The monopoly? Tama ba yung word, Burns?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have the right for water in our
All,
island. So sad to
all
say.
deep wells has to be registered
Yes.
with
Yes,
MCWD.
yes. So this is reality. As now that we know we need water, it's being monopolized. So we just have to make noise.
Yeah.
Until when their contract is, we don't know yet.
Yeah. I talked to Edith Tinopol. If you remember her, she used to be the what you
Civil
call this
service.
secretary or commissioner
Correct.
Sana, remember? In civil service, but she previously she was with MCWD. Actually, when it's a barangay, because I was thinking of more of a barangay thing, no, so that it's controlled also by the barangay, because every time there's a calamity or something happens, all of the people go to the barangay right away to ask for water support. So if it's within the barangay, they would allow that. I think that's what they said, because especially what happened to Odette when they were, a lot of people were going to the barangays asking for water and all that. So I think they will give consideration with that right now. I know that's what I heard. No? That they might give the consideration because they were not able to supply everything actually. Yep.
Okay, yes, PDG man.
Yeah, again, I'd just like to comment the reason why MCWD cannot supply water because there was no electricity. So what was needed was the genset, the big genset to make the MCWD pump work. So if it worked, then it could have supplied water. So I think MCWD relies on electricity. So I don't know. It must be Gen Z. That's why there was a shout out in VECO on MCWD yata shout out in their page who has industrial gen sets for rent. That was a shout out. So it was really like in our place, ang ganda ng gen set, very well secured. I mean MCWD pump, but no gen set. So it was not operating.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's also true. Maybe mga genset po, because ours we had our MCWD has a genset, so yeah, probably you need also both Veco and all that. So I think it's more. I was looking into water. I don't know how or what or what's going to be done by water. For example, like reverse osmosis or whatever. I don't know. It's just my thoughts, but it's okay. Whatever, whatever you guys decide.
Okay. Also, I would like to relay to the body the proposal from the Rotaract Club of Cebu Fente Community Base. They would like to. I'm not so sure now if they are still willing to do this, but they relayed to me that they would like to partner with us on their relief project. They're asking for. They intend to have a distribution of relief goods to um, a community in the south area of Cebu, and the cost for the relief package is or relief goods would be 300 pesos, and they're asking for a partnership on this particular undertaking. They mentioned that they have 12,000 pesos already secured, and they're just asking for additional so they can support 100 houses. So if 300 and 100 households, then that would be 30,000 pesos, and they already have 12. So if we can set aside the remaining amount of 18,000 to them, okay, anyway, it is a relief effort still, and we can probably set aside that amount. So I'm opening it to the body if you're okay, or if there are any other comments.
Is this one Rotaract Club, Burns?
Our
Because I
Rotaract Club kita.
usa lang ni or katong
Siya
tulog
lang
yun?
siya. The Rotaract, the one who discussed with me is Shivi, but maybe we can have it as a one project for all the Rotaract clubs.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, because it's like there's one Rotaract Club sa Ilashibi. They raised 92,000 in partnership with somebody with a club and all. So Madagaygay Rotary or something, I don't know. They have a project and they raised already 90,000. They shared it in our chat group. So it'll be nice if we consolidate all our efforts, but I don't know if they've identified their adapted community as well.
So if you're okay, I'll coordinate with our Rotaractors for this and ask them and confirm with them if they're still gonna pursue this particular partnership with us on the matter. I just promised to them that I will relay it to the club as I cannot decide on it. These are donated amounts after all. So if you're okay, I will raise it to them that we're interested, but we would prefer if it's gonna be a unified undertaking for all the Rotaract
Three
clubs and
Rotaract
the
clubs.
RCCF. Okay.
I
So
think that's a
doing
good
noted.
project.
Rotaract unified project. Okay. Another matter that I would like to share with you guys is on the forthcoming Autism Week, which is on January, the week of January 20, next week, from January 23 to January 29. And I asked spouse Sandra if where RCCF may be able to support the autism advocacy, and she suggested two activities on January 24, 10 a.m. On the topics all you need to know about autism. This is just a webinar. So we can clearly support this. We can invite barangays in Cebu and public school teachers for this. And also on January 26 on autism sensitivity training for first responders. So what security and safety frontliners need to know about autism. In this case, we can invite business owners and hospital ER staff and maybe barangay personnel as well. So only those two activities were suggested. Anyway, it's just a webinar and I'm willing to have this as part of our project also for Autism Week. At least we will continue our advocacy on the matter. PDG Mayan, is there any activity for I Can Serve Foundation for this month?
Actually, what we have been doing is posting positive quotes every day,
I
daily
saw
quotes. I
that.
think you've seen that. So it's daily quotes and reminders in partnership with I Can Serve. We're looking at with the alert level 3. We are not encouraging our ladies to be going out, but we might want to come out with something February. Of course, Rotary will be part of it. By the way, Burns, Robinson's Galleria is open to any activities that we may want to do there. Not really face to face. We can have an exhibit that we want to put there. So about autism, maybe Sandra has something in mind, a painting
The
exhibit
board, yeah,
at the
I think
board for
he has
special
the board.
children.
Sige, tita,
Yes.
I will raise that to her as a suggestion. Okay, I
So
know
I
there is
can
a
tell
traveling board.
Leslie,
Oh,
the
sige.
new marketing head is a good friend, Leslie Morelos. So she has been asking for this, and I relayed this to Sandra last year, last December. So it's just scheduling when.
Sige, tita, I will raise to Tita Sandra. Okay, Leslie Morelos. Okay, thank you very much. So, with the project of the ongoing positive notes and quotes from the I Can Serve Foundation, may I encourage the members of RCCF to please share the positive quotes. If we can share it in our own social media, personal social media account, so it can have a wider reach. Um, on the matter of the term next year, I had the opportunity to talk to President-elect Polly Jang, and he has confirmed interest and intention to hold the position for next year. He already made a commitment to come back to the Philippines on March this year, and I guess that would be enough time for him to be able to prepare for his term. So I also did not want to make a decision for himself. So I just told him that if he really can come here on March, then there should be no reason why he cannot hold the position as president then for next year. I just asked him to relay to me his officers though, because I need to submit it already to the district, and he promised that he will give it to me next week. Okay, that's what he mentioned. He just wants to have time to ask personally the persons he had in mind. He may have already dropped some hints to some of the individuals he intends to be part of his administration, if such a term is correct. Okay, so for now, we know that Polly is willing to uh, take over the helm of RCCF for Rotary Year next year. Okay. And with that, that's the end of our business matters. So if there are any other matters that you would like to raise, also on the global grant, I have to coordinate with District Governor Anna on the district grants that we proposed last year. If you remember, I suggested that we take the time to supposedly think and work on the global grants that we started during our workshop. And I understand that the group of PDG Mayan on Red Cross has worked on their project also. And I understand also that PDG Yumi has worked on his part as well. But I have to see though the application so that we can submit them already um, as early as possible, as soon as possible, so that we can already have our global grants. I intend to submit this global grants. Our timeline would be next month. That's probably the best time for us to submit. So we only have this month and next month to work on our global grant so that we will be able to reap the benefits of such an application during this year. But even if it's not, at least we can already have it during the next year's term. Okay. So hopefully we can complete our submission. But I have to coordinate with Governor Anna on the projects also, if it will be approved. Okay, any other matter that you would like to share? Yes, PDG Mayan.
With the fishing boat, which was suggested by Jesse, he may want to consider applying for a global grant for this, for a disaster response project. Now the district response grants is district to district. No club has applied yet, but who knows? If all the data will be there, it might be approved on a club level. And then the second, Burns, would you like to, how's this, relay about the PRM's reprieve on the,
On the
yes,
discount.
on the PRM?
Dito
And
please. I just read it in passing though. But if you can have more info, if you can share it.
I'd like Maricel, because she's assistant governor, maybe
Mm.
she can share that information.
Okay, for the what you call this, for the second semester, we are exempted for the payment, no, for the second sem, but that's only, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's only how many dollars that's equivalent to one. But for those only affected by the typhoon or that's areas one, A, B, C, D, E, and I think F. Area one
This
and
is this is
area
PRM, cell, huh? This is not dollars.
PRM.
So,
I'm
I
not
think it's
aware of the
about
PRM.
200,
Sorry.
300 pesos.
Sorry.
I'm not aware of the PRM yet.
This is PRM. The Rotary
Okay.
magazine is still as is. It's the PRM that we have a
Okay.
reprieve for half sem. So this is about 200, 300 pesos a PRM.
Okay. I'll check. Sorry. Sorry.
I read it somewhere that there was a discount that they are giving if you will subscribe to the PRM. Was it to? Okay. I'm able to search it, but meanwhile, allow me instead to thank RCCF spouses, especially Tess and Doc Cricri, for spearheading the Abining Knit for Your Baby Gift, which benefited the newborn babies of Cebu Maternity Center. So, how nice that our RCCF spouses have their own project for this year. So, we are great. Personally, I'm grateful, and of course, RCCF is grateful that our RCCF spouses have spearheaded a project. Now, also for there will be another set of Beanie knits that will be distributed, care of sponsored by the daughter of IPP Amy Salona and spouse Tess. They will also give, but they would prefer to give it to another group also of newborn babies. So we'll look forward to that then. Um, Director Stephen, if you can share to the body the host Rotarians for the meetings that we will have. For January, there will only be one more meeting left, I
More
guess.
meeting.
Yes, there will be one more meeting left.
The hosts are the following Rotarians. We have past President Marina Kaufman, past President, past District Governor Yumi Espina, and past President Sol Passion
And
for
the theme for
January.
January is vocational service. Okay, just so they would know. And for the month of February, Stephen,
For the month of February, we have the theme of uh, peace building and conflict prevention. The host would be past President Radi Abarintos, past President Dick Barba, and past President Dave Karamihan.
okay. So thank you, Stephen. And the theme is peace building and conflict prevention. Since I am sitting in the board of the Integrated Bar of the Philippines, Cebu City chapter, um, since last year, I've discussed with them that I would like to hold a free legal aid for the month of February, as it is peace building and conflict prevention. We were looking at the back then, and only if the pandemic will cooperate with us. We were thinking actually of the month, sometime on the week of the Valentine's Day. Of course, not exactly on the Valentine's Day, but sometime on that week that we can hold our free legal aid activity with IBP. So
Would
I'm
this be
sure
face to face, Bern?
possibility ta face to face, but then if there will be no if the cases of COVID would still not ease out ta, then we can have a free online legal aid activity. We've done it before, and it may be possible, and we just have to prepare on the platform. Though we already have that platform, we have the online legal aid for IBP Cebu City, so hopefully we can hold it during the month as planned. Yes,
If face to
yes,
face is allowed, let's
then we will
explore
go.
two venues. They're willing again to host us. That's Robinson
Yes,
Galleria,
right, for sure.
Ayala Center, and Ayala IT Block. IT Block. So we have three
Central block,
options.
central block.
Oh, Central Block. Okay.
Sige tita, I will take note. So Robinsons and Ayala legal aid. Yes, AG Maricel.
Yes, I found it already. So I'll read it in toto. No? It says here, PRM is offering a 50% discount for our digital subscription fee this second semester. Instead of paying 250 pesos this semester, we will only pay 125 pesos per subscriber. To those clubs which have already paid in full, their excess payment shall be credited to the next Rotary year. For inquiries and assistance, please feel free to PM, of course, Arlene. Okay, that's all.
So Sir June, we have kuan, diba? We have subscribed to the PRM for the year, but to Sir June, or
Yes.
just for
No.
the first sem.
First
First sem
sem.
lang. Okay, then we will
But
do the
my
second sem.
question is, this year we tried to majority was for online
Online.
issue.
Yes, sir.
I want to know if anybody received their copies through their
I have
email.
received mine online.
Online,
Okay.
yes.
Yes, I have
Good.
received mine online. Now on the matter of discount, this one is really free, guys. We receive advice from the district that our second semester dues for membership um, has been waived by RI on account of the devastation of Super Typhoon Odette. Now, I know some of you, actually most of you, have already paid their membership dues for this year. Of course, you are free to decide on how would you want your contribution to the membership dues to be applied, or how it is supposed to be used. So It's just that I would like to suggest if we can all pay our array, which is 5,000 pesos, so that we can be considered as an array club, a sustaining club.
Every year,
Every Rotarian every year, so we can get that. And also for those who have not yet contributed to End Polio, we will also would like to get a part of the membership dues to pay for your End Polio contribution, so that we can be a 100% polio contributing club. If
Yeah.
if there are no objections, I will take it as it is then, that if I will not receive any objection, then you are willing to donate
Yeah.
or to apply the membership dues to this particular undertakings. Huh? So, but again, it's up to you. You may raise objections. To me personally, it did not be with our group chat. But if you want to raise it in the group chat, you can also do so. Or even now, you can, if you want. Okay. Or if you want a refund of your membership dues, but only on that portion that we will have to give to RI. Okay, you can also do that. You will
I
also.
agree of giving it back, giving to the
Mm.
club and whatever you would like to apply it for.
Okay, so thank you, AG Maricel. So she has expressed that intention also in our group chat. Okay, the same with PDG Mayan as well. Mm-mm. So I'll just wait for any objections that you will send. But if there's none, then I'll suppose that it will be considered as carried by everyone then. So we will apply it uniformly for everyone. Thank you. So any other matter that you would like to raise to the body? Um, Sige, I'll just officially adjourn the meeting before we start discussing other things. If there are no other matters to be discussed. So if there are no other matters to be discussed, I hereby call this 18th General Membership Meeting adjourned. Fellowship continues. No, I just
Pictures
like
afterwards.
to I just
Pictures.
like oh so yeah, we'll have the picture